A lot of you have been asking in the comments to create a custom indicator. So today we are doing it. We are going to code a powerful moving average crossover indicator in MQL4 from scratch. Stick around until the end because we are going to use Forex Tester Online to test this code. You will get the exact code, step-by-step guidance, and a tool that works for you. Let's jump into the code. Alright, before we open the meta editor, let's quickly talk about what we are building. We are using simple moving crossover because it's the foundation of many powerful strategies. We are using 9 period MA as our fast line to detect short term momentum and the 50 MA as our slow line to confirm overall trend. The code is straightforward. When the fast MA crosses above the slow MA, we print a green buy arrow. When the fast MA crosses below the slow MA, we print a red sell arrow. That's it. Now that we know exactly what we are building, let's open up Meta Editor and start writing the code. Alright, we are inside Meta Editor. Click on New, select Custom Indicator, hit Next, and then type a simple name for your indicator. Hit Next, and then select On Calculate as it is, and then hit Next, and click Finish. The first thing we see are the properties at the top. We need a property indicator chart window so our signals appear directly on the price chart. And then we have onInit function. This function runs only once when the indicator is loaded onto the chart. This is where we tell MQL4 exactly how our buffers should look like. I'll tell more about the buffers later on. And then we have onCalculate function. This runs on every single tick whenever a new bar is formed. Let's start. We need a new property for the indicator buffers. We have to tell how many buffers will be included in this indicator. Property, then we have indicator buffers 4. This property tells the system we need 4 places to store our data. 2 for MA lines and 2 for buy and sell arrows. And now we have to add some properties to the buffers we need to add for MA lines. The first one is label. This is fast MA line. The second one is type. We have to draw a line. Third one is the color. Fourth one is style solid. The width should be 5. Second, slow MA line. And now we have to add an input parameters. We have a default one like fast MA to 9 and slow MA to 50. And now the last thing is we need to add indicator buffers. We have already told the system that we need 4 indicator buffers. The first two are buy and sell buffers. These are the arrow we have to show on the chart. And the last two are fast MA and slow MA buffer. And now we have to add some initializations for all of these properties. The first one is indicator buffers. We have to tell the system that we have 4 buffers to initialize them, and then we have set index buffer buy buffer, which is 0. Another index buffer for the second one, which is a sell buffer, set index style. And now we have to add an index buffers for fast MA and slow MA. And that's it. We have initialized all our buffers. And now go to onCalculate function. First of all, we have to count how many bars are available on chart. Now, some small checks to see if there are enough bars available so that we can calculate our logic. Now let's set a limit for our bars. This is the real-time bars that are being displayed. Now we have to ensure that at least we have two bars available onto the chart. Alright, so now let's add a logic for the crossover. We are using this rates total. It will tell us how many rates are available on the bars. So let's add a loop for this. Start with I, and then we have rates total, and then I plus plus. Now we have to calculate the previous bar's fast MA. We are now calculating the fast MA of this previous bar so that we can check it from the current one. The current bar is this one. We have to calculate the fast MA of this previous bar and then detect the crossovers with the fast MA of the previous bar and the slow MA of the previous bar. And then also check that if the current bar's fast MA is greater than slow MA current. This is the previous MA. We are using function IMA 0, and this is fast MA period. And then we have to add a shift for this. We are using a default values here. The mode is SMA, simple moving average, and then we have to add a price, which is a closing price. To get the previous bar, we have to use I plus 1. And now we have to do this 4 times. This will be a slow MA previous. This is the slow MA period. And same for price closing and I plus 1. And now we have to calculate the current bars of the fast MA and slow MA. Update this variable current and remove plus 1. Alright, so now we have fast MA and slow MA of the current bars. We can now update the fast MA and slow MA buffers right here so that it will show a line on the chart. Let's use fast MA buffer at the index of this bar and the value of fast MA current. And we have to do the same for the slow MA buffer. Let's see the code at this point, how it works now. Hit compile. There are no errors found. That's great. Now hit this play button. It will load the chart and it will show default inputs as 9 and 50 MA period. Hit OK. We can now see the lines onto the chart, the fast MA and slow MA. That's great. Now go back to editor and then we have to detect the crossovers now. If fast MA of previous bar is less than slow MA of the previous bar, and we also have to check that fast MA of the current bar is greater than slow MA of the current bar, it means we have a crossover and this is a buy signal. So go to buy buffer. At the index of I, we have to print the arrow point multiplied by 10. This is the position of the arrow. We want to show that it should be 10 points above the bar. And then for the sell buffer, we have to hide it from the chart. It should be an empty value. And now we have to check if fast MA of the previous bar is greater than slow MA of the previous bar and fast MA of the current bar is less than slow MA of the current bar, then it means it's a sell signal. So for the sell buffer, at the high price of the candle, move 10 points plus and show the arrow. For the buy buffer, we have to hide it. Empty value. And then for all of the other cases, buy buffer is empty and sell buffer should also be empty. Alright, compile it again. There are no errors now. Hit play button. Input values as 950 and boom, we can now show the sell signals and buy signals onto the chart. As the fast MA crosses above the slow MA, we are now showing the buy signal, and if the fast MA crosses below the slow MA, then we have to show the sell signal here. Alright, MQL4 code is compiled and the indicator is drawing signals. But here's the harsh reality. Your code is currently useless. We have only proven it compiles. We need a professional audit. We cannot trust this code based on a few hours of visual inspection of MT4. The built-in MT4 strategy tester is limited by low-resolution data, and this leads to backtesting results that looks fantastic, but strategies that fail live. That's why, for proper analysis, I prefer using a dedicated backtesting tool. So instead of relying on MT4, let's test the same indicator logic using Forex Tester Online, where we can replay the market and see how this indicator behaves candle by candle. Let's open up Forex Tester Online, create a new project, select your symbol, enter the project name, create new project. Hit the play button at the far right. Now let's load the indicator that we have just built. Upload indicator. Select proceed and select your indicator in JS format. Please note MQL4 indicator needs to be converted to JS format, and which can be done easily by yourself, or you can request the Forex Tester Online team. The indicator is loaded successfully. Now head over to the indicators again, go to my indicators and select your indicator. Fast MA and slow MA periods can be selected by default. Hit OK. As we can see, indicator is successfully loaded onto the chart. Here I am using bar forward feature by clicking this icon or by holding shift and right arrow to move one candle at a time, and watch how the moving average crossover reacts to the prices. If I want to quickly find the next buy signal, I can use jump to from the indicator area, which saves a lot of time during testing. This makes it much easier to understand entries and exits without rushing through the chart. Alright, now we have a buy signal. Let's open the trade at this position. The position is open at this point, and now we have to go to the next sell signal. You can use the jump to feature from the indicator area or by choosing bar forward feature. Let's close the position at this point. Go to open positions, hit right click and close the order. After a few trades, click on Smart Analytics button, which gives a clear overview of performance, showing what's working and what needs improvement. Let's see what points needs to be improved. For example, here it says we have to increase the lot size to reach the 1% risk per trade, and we can get this much profit. In another point, it says that use stop losses on every trade to manage the risk. These are valid points that should be improved. And here are all the other analytics that have been calculated by this Smart Analytics tool. This is the real value of backtesting. You are not trusting guesses or screenshots. You are watching the strategy play out step by step. You can try this yourself using the free demo. I have added the link in the description below, and use discount code REAL10 to get the 10% discount. So there you have it, a fully validated MA crossover indicator coded from scratch. And if you found this deep dive useful, please hit that like button and subscribe, because in the next video we are taking this exact MA crossover logic and embedding it into an expert advisor.